Hi there guys, happy Friday, I hope you're all well and keeping safe out there. So to round off our 2 weeks of mindfulness and calming strategies, I thought today we can sort of take it back to basics and talk a bit about how we can easily incorporate some of these mindful techniques into our day-to-day life. So if you're the kind of person who is always sort of on autopilot, maybe when you're out driving you sort of have reached your destination and don't remember how you got there, so you've sort of gone there on autopilot. Or if you're the kind of person who's constantly multitasking and doing a million things at once, then this might be a good one for you to learn to slow down, be more present and be more mindful. I think a lot of the time people tend to think that mindfulness is something quite unattainable, that it involves sort of meditation and setting aside loads of time and clearing our minds, but hopefully what this video will teach you is that it's not any of those things, that we can actually practice it in short bursts and incorporate it quite easily into our day-to-day routine, and you might even realise that you do some of it already. So yeah, let's get into it and I hope you find it useful. So let's start off with some tips then. So first thing I'd say is, like I said, it's not about clearing our mind free of all things and all distractions, because that basically isn't possible. So if your mind wanders, let it, acknowledge that, but then bring it back to the present moment. So it's fine for your minds to wander, but we're going to acknowledge that and we're not going to feed into it, I guess, and try and bring ourselves back to the here and now. Also, it's important to embrace that feeling of being relaxed. I think a lot of the time we tend to be, like I said, doing a million things at once. We don't stop, we don't sit down, we don't take that time to rest. So it's important to really embrace that feeling of being relaxed and allow ourselves to stop and to slow down. Because we can't go at a million miles an hour forever. At some point it has to stop. So it's important to make time to slow down and stop. And then mindfulness practice is not about doing hours and hours and hours every day. It is the short bursts of things. That is more than enough. If that's all that you can fit in, then that's absolutely fine, and it might be something you can build on over time. So now let's get into what we can actually do, how we can incorporate it into our day-to-day routine. So let's talk about how we can actually incorporate some more of this mindfulness into our day-to-day activities. So the idea is that we're taking what we do on a daily basis, so we're not doing anything new, anything groundbreaking, we're practicing our normal day but in a different way, so we're being more mindful. So let's take our boring day-to-day routine, things like doing the school run or taking the dog for a walk or waiting in traffic or being in the queue at a supermarket. These are great opportunities to try and be more mindful. So rather than letting your mind wander, thinking about what's going to happen later today, worrying about things that have happened yesterday, try and really take in how you're feeling in that present moment and what's going on around you. So be more mindful in those moments, in those day-to-day routine activities. We can take that a step further. We can go on a mindful walk. So if you're out about on a walk, take in your surroundings, notice the sounds, the smells, what you can see, what you can hear. I said that one already, doesn't matter. We've got other videos about mindful walks, so go check them out if that's something that interests you. Mindful eating as well, that's another one. Eating, it's something that we do quite a few times a day. But how often do you actually sit there and think about what it is you're doing and what it is you're, putting into your body? I don't know, you might be like me and guilty of maybe, eating whilst, at your desk working, or eating whilst watching the telly. What we can do instead is mindfully eat, so we're not going to have any distractions, not going to be sort of scrolling on your phone, but sit there and concentrate on what it is we're consuming. So taking the time to, you know, properly chew the food and taste it and enjoy it, rather than sort of rushing and getting ready to do the next thing. And we can be more mindful as well in our conversations with people, so really mindfully listening to what other people have to say. I think a lot of the times, sometimes people are guilty of being quite distracted when we have conversations with other people. So, you know, maybe instead try and, you know, limit those distractions. So maybe put away your phone when you're having dinner with someone, or, you know, over Zoom or FaceTime with someone. So, you know, limit those distractions so you can focus on what they're saying, and pause maybe before responding. If you're one of those people who sort of say things on autopilot, you know, maybe get yourself into a spot of bother with how you respond. Try and take a moment to pause beforehand and really sort of take in what they've said and really think about how you're going to respond. And then finally, another suggestion would be to maybe schedule in some screen-free time, maybe sort of after work, or, you know, maybe during your lunch hour. You have some time where you are not staring at a screen, not mindlessly scrolling through your phone. I know I'm guilty of that one, I'm going to admit that one. So, you know, making that time away from technology, so that we can really take in what's going on around us, rather than just being absorbing what's going on the screen. So yeah, making time. So like I say, hopefully there are some ideas of how you can be a bit more mindful, and like I say, nothing that we don't already do, it's just looking at it in a different way. So there we go guys, there are just some easy tips and ideas of how we can be a bit more mindful in our day-to-day lives. Like I said, again, you know, we're not changing the world, we're not doing anything groundbreaking. These are just things that we do on a day-to-day basis. But it's about shifting the way that we view those activities and the way we practice those activities. So, you know, rather than doing them on autopilot and just going through the motions, we're actually, you know, taking in what we're doing. So yeah, as always, I hope you found that one useful or interesting. Please do like and share if you have. And yeah, take care, and I'll see you guys next time.